My name's Dee and welcome to Sunchild Tarot and welcome to the May 2021 general reading for Gemini. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, whatever area of your chart you're wanting to have a look at. And if you're not familiar with your rising sign especially, and your moon, there's a link as ever in the description down below so you can go get yourself a free birth chart. You will need your time and place of birth as well. Right. So, general reading rules apply. You've heard it before. Timing is far from absolute. If someone else turns up in the readings, which they don't often do in my readings, but if someone does, I can get them mixed up because I see energies and actions, not necessarily the people. It doesn't tend to happen a lot because my readings tend to be quite self-focused, if you know what I mean. I don't mean me, I mean you. Now, it's not a take what resonates reading. There is a past and a present in this spread. So if the past and the present don't fit, it's not for you. Go and look at your moon or your rising or your Venus, what have you. But don't try and make it fit. When all's said and done, it's YouTube. These are for entertainment. And hopefully the purpose of these readings is for me to confirm for you what you already know, or maybe give you a new perspective on something that you already know. So if you don't recognize anything in the reading, it's not your reading. Having said that, what I would like you to do is to ask a question. So take a moment, think about all of the questions that are around you and focus on one of them. But be aware of what at least the most important ones are, because cards will answer what they want. And don't go by our sense of priority, let's put it that way. Finally, there is a link down below for the Facebook page for this channel. I post these videos, obviously, because I don't trust YouTube notifications in the slightest. But I also post all the weather report type videos from the astrologers that I watch. So I try to make it a bit of a one-stop shop. More importantly, for me anyway, it's got its own inbox. So if you want to contact me for a personal reading, which will be more useful than a general reading, to be quite honest, then that's the way to do it. There's also a Linktree link down there, so you can get to my email and what have you, but really the Facebook way is the best way to do it. I can keep track of it easier then. I get a lot of emails. My own fault for signing up for several thousand newsletters. So that aside, I think that's everything. Yeah, just that note on always watch your rising sign. If you watch your moon sign, you can maybe look at it as something that's more internal, how your feelings are going to be affected. So you can watch the reading through the filter of the planet in your chart you're looking at, or like I say, well, still and ask the question as well. Okay, so let me bring the cards up for you because that's quite enough waffle. Although, if you notice how short I've got it now. So one thing that jumps out of me, jumps out to me even. Yes, there's nothing jumping out of me on camera. You don't have to worry about that. It's not going to be a scene out of Alien. Is that there is a rebirth on offer. We've got 2 9s here in the potential future section. Now, 9s always represent rebirth. I'm sure there's angelic number 99 in there, which means whatever it means. And there's plenty of websites on the internet for you to Google your angel numbers, because I can't remember. But that rebirth isn't here yet. And I really get the distinct impression, right, how you are feeling. We've got the 5 of Wands. Well, what a surprise, Gemini. You're in a bit of a do I or don't I? Because we've got this, but on the other hand, there's this, and then there's this, and then there's that. And I'm feeling that there is some form of victory, some form of teamwork is another thing that comes into my mind. These bottom 4 piles of cards represent, in effect, the astrological energies. I mean, if I knew all my transits and all my astrology stuff better, I would be able to confirm or deny this. but they are flavors or trends that you will be passing through. And you've just passed through a time of victory, a time where you had, oh, this is clarified by Nine of Stones, so Nine of Pentacles, and Nine of Pentacles. So, but this isn't a very solitary one. This is standing on your own 2 feet and having power within the royal court. So here, the royal court is the garden of the Rider-Waite deck, which, if you are the one sat on the throne, it might be full of people, but could be a very lonely place. Which maybe makes a little bit more sense about why you're so conflicted at the moment, because people have come together. People you've achieved some victory, or some victory has been achieved, let's put it that way. And you seem to have developed or if we put it in old role-playing terms, none of this online nonsense. I'm going into tabletop here because I'm that generation. You suddenly have an adventuring company that's come out of the woodwork around you. Now, I think these are people that you know, and these are friends of yours, but they've turned up, and I get the impression specifically with this Nine of Pentacles and with the victory card, the Six of Staves, sorry, in this one, there is that you are in some form of leadership role. Either it was your idea, or they are looking to you for how to proceed forward. Now, where you are right now, the Hermit with the Two of Coins beneath it. So the lesson in what's going on right now, what a surprise, it's about bringing balance. I mean, you are one of the dual signs, and so that's an eternal struggle for yourself. But this Hermit, even this Hermit, is not alone. There's a small child. Let me turn it so the light's not reflecting off it. There's a small child going along with this Hermit. And it's as if you are, so Eight of Wands, Knight of Bows, bows being, let me see, arrows are swords, bows are wands. But I love how this fox has got his eyes tightly shut. It's like, no, I'm not looking. With this Hermit card, I'm rather feeling that you have been extricating yourself from a situation, and you are hoping for just, a little bit of peace, a little bit of quiet, a little bit of a chance to get your head together and just sit down and go, now, that's done. What do we do now? But there's these other people that are around you who, maybe through your own choice, but certainly through their choice, so potentially through no choice of your own, you now have responsibility for. You have become some form of, as I say, some form of leader, but you're needing to look within to go, yeah, do I want to do this? Because the other thing, when the cards came out, I mean, the first thing that popped into my head was, oh, why so sad, Gemini? Only sad isn't the right word. Stressed, maybe, is the right word. Sad is not the, it's not so much a sort of, oh God, how did I end up here? It's more a, how did I end up here? Why am I here? Why, how come I'm suddenly such a leading light? How come my opinion suddenly matters so much? But you have got the support of your friends. And there's work to be done. Bottom of the deck here, Three of Cups, the main deck, Eight of Pentacles, the following deck. And then finally, here's this Hermit again with the Hooded Man card. So there is one thing I'm getting with both of those Hermits is that sense of exploration. So almost as if people are looking to you for the answers, and your reaction is, I don't know, let's go that way. There's that how am I supposed to know? How this is as new to me as, but you're not being asked to know Gemini, even though I know you like knowing. Maybe not as much as Sagittarius, but you like finding out. And that's the idea of this point in time, the finding out. But it is, oh, now. You are being given an opportunity. Queen of what? So, Two of Coins, Queen of Wands, and the Sun. The happy, happy, joy, joy card, as I always call it. You are being given a chance to really balance out all the many agendas that are going on around you and the many activities around you. With this Two of Coins, I'm really getting the sense of sharing, of fairness. So yeah, there's that balancing aspect, if you go back to the Rider-Waite deck of the juggler with the two coins, but it's more a point of making sure everybody is getting their fair due. And I'm going to say out of what's available, because from the Angelarium, we have Schlegiel, the Angel of Snow. And the whole point of this card is making the best of a bad job, which is probably a bit mean and over-egging the bad job pudding. But Schlegiel goes along the plains of the snow and ice and cold and wet and damp, and did I mention cold? And dances and sings and takes joy in the beauty that is all around him or her. So you are being called to see the beauty of the situation that you are in and use all the resources accordingly, while satisfying both your agendas and everybody else's. You are the one poised to create the fire, to manifest a win-win situation for as many possible people involved. Those are the ones that you care about, and maybe to a certain extent, some of those that you don't really care about either. But if you want them to treat your people right, then you've got to treat them right. There's because we've got the Sun here. This motion, this direction is getting larger. Sun underneath towards the Sun flavor of time. With Ten of Pentacles, so again, there's that community aspect. But I do want to say, you can be over finicky during this time. You can be over controlling isn't quite the right word. But over fussy about how things are going forward. I want to see a little more freedom in your actions. And I'm not saying that if there's something that you can't achieve where you just go stuff it, it's like, no, if you can't achieve it that way, there'll be another way. Because the Poet of Avon from the Mausolea deck, wonderfully creative person, pretty obviously that is William Shakespeare, trapped in some fictional afterlife, constantly writing his plays, getting adulation, getting the, I mean, it's any bard out of any fantasy novel that you've read as well, getting the adulation, creating more works, getting the adulation, and this is this eternal loop. But what this card says is, yeah, it's okay to feed your ego. That's fine. Do it. Crack on. But do not forget that a steady diet of ego food alone will get you nowhere. You need to have that spiritual nourishment as well. And I think what this is saying is definitely now is a wonderful time to release some hang-ups, especially with how you are dealing with other people. And more to that, I really do want to say, how you are dealing with other people in quantity, you know, not just like in your one-on-one relationships, but as part of a group of 4, 5, 6, 7, 30. You know, so this will include work, this will include school, this will include your neighborhood, all those sort of issues. But you are most definitely and possibly reluctantly becoming an authority. But there is still this sense of confusion around. We've got the Hanged Man here. Now, we did have you've been in this confused state before, because here at the relevant past, so this isn't the recent past, this is where you've learned a lesson in the past that either you are using now and maybe shouldn't, or that you're not using now and maybe could. So there's this sense of accomplishment, but also never-ending job. You know, am I locked into this role forever? Can I summon something to lose this role? And no, because you are going to get the recognition that you require, and you will eventually see the wisdom in what you are trying to achieve. Because you are going to be able to see that which is missing and see that which has been removed from the situation. Let's have a look at this confusion way back in the past. Right, so you've been in a confused state before in the past, but let's face it, things worked out. Good, firm foundations, with the King of Pentacles, transport if you needed it, enough to eat, just enough money in your pocket. But that money that was in your pocket, it wasn't necessarily yours. It was money that you were using towards a specific end. So, because the one thing I noticed with this King of Pentacles, this is not a king ruling, this is a king in prayer. And recognizing, well, I'm immediately led to think of that phrase namaste that they say means, and I'm beginning to wonder because there's so much New Age woo-woo that is nonsense. Speaking as a veteran New Age woo-wooer, where namaste says the divine in me recognizes the divine in you. Now, these Egyptian kings were considered divine, but under modern day philosophy, we rather look at it that we've all got that divine spark in us, because of course we have. And his prayer looking up there is almost not quite a why have you forsaken me, but why are they only recognizing me as the divine one? Because they've all got it. And maybe that sticks in the flavor of what you've got going on here. You lead by empowering rather than lead by just taking charge, even with this emperor here. But the emperor was emperor over many provinces, in charge of many kings or many dukes or whatever structure. So there is an element of you being able to empower others to do those bits that you can't do because there's only so much you can do in one day. Now, that right, so you was in this role, and there was that feeling of, what am I doing here? Why is this for me? Why? I mean, it could even be this was what you wanted, and then you got there and you think, oh God, what am I doing here? So you went through a transformation, Ten of Swords here. You called it to an end. And I've also got the phrase, you fought off whatever it was that you were aiming to fight off. Like I say, there's quite an undertone here of going on a quest and adventuring. You know, there's if there was a card for everyone sat in a tavern at the end of the adventure, I'm sure that would be turning up here somewhere. But with Queen of Cups and The ancestor, which is the Hierophant in the Wildwood Tarot, is you brought that project, time of life, to an end. It was a transforming time of life. You were able to control that which you needed to, and that gave you a dream of how to carry on further, where all of a sudden you was, to an extent, a beginner again, Page of Swords here, but information was coming to you and knowledge of you was spreading. We've got two King of Wands here. We've got, well, the Ramses Tarot and King of Bows from the Wildwood. And I'm really drawn to the serpents on here because it's reminding me of that whole image of serpent wisdom, of the Kundalini. So you, whatever this old situation was, you graduated from it. You graduated from it with people knowing that you had graduated from it. And I think that you'll find that circumstances then changed quite fast. Only recently you've been asked to level up, and you found it more than a little this new thing that you've entered into. It's like, oh my God, oh my God. And I think that's oh my God feeling. Even with your recent victory, I do get a sense of your victory. Your victory was in fixing something, in replacing something, not in actually making an advance, but regaining old ground, ready to set off onto a new direction. Knight of Arrows here. So, where are we? Let's go back to the future. Like I say, we've got this rebirth on offer, but the lesson from the past is you graduated from that, you will graduate from this. I think that's a really, really important thing here, because you are building a firm foundation with what you're doing, and you know you are, even if there's a little bit of you going, yeah, right. Why are all these people following me right now? But you're building a firm foundation. And yes, you have to be economical. You have to be conservative with your expenditure, with the amount of energy you're putting into things. Yeah, absolutely you do. But there is a really good dream, possibly new love, but this is in the feelings sector. So there's a really good dream that, in effect, this dream is a bit of a gift that keeps on giving. You may not know what 2 steps ahead what the second step ahead is. Right, let's put it that way. But you know that once you take that 1 step forward, that second step will reveal itself to you. But it doesn't help that sense of feeling like you know where you're going. It is literally one day at a time here. And other people are wanting you to push ahead faster, or trying to trap you into agreeing to something or limiting what you're doing. Don't do that. Devil card here in the other people section, with the Ace of Bows. So, Devil card, I'll get my Demon Possessed Tarots, but it's really pretty obvious to me what that is. Okay, these two want to come out then. What that is about, because it's people are wanting to lock you into saying, right, we're going this way, we're going that way. But the whole point and the whole seat of your distress is, I don't know where we're going. And again, the Emperor and the King of Wands. We have Baal as the Emperor and Asmodeus as the King of Wands. You can tell people you are not a fortune teller. Tell them a fortune teller told you to say that. But there is so much potential in what you are trying to do. But right now is not a time to be tied down to any specific plan forward. So although it's annoying you that you don't know where you're going, I do want to say that if you don't know where you're going, good. That's exactly where you need to be right now. Um, what you are wanting to make a commitment to, um, you've already made a commitment to a general gist, but that commitment, that settling the scales is coming. But in the meantime, you have to remember some of these older lessons and just release them, and don't necessarily repeat what you've done before. Again, adding to that, I don't know where I'm going next. That's fine. If you can map out your next step, in more of a long-term fashion, then you're doing it wrong. So, and again, I know you can end up resorting to well, I tried this before, it'll work this time. It might, but you need that freedom. You can't just set it to a cold, hard plan. So you need a little bit of faith in yourself. So one thing that's going on is this period does seem to be teaching you a little bit of self-love. And also, I love this, the angel of mercy. Divine mercy gives me the grace to be tender and accepting. And I think one thing that you need to accept right now is the mystery. Because, yeah, have I got this new beginning or not? Ace of coins in your hopes and fears. Or is it just a meaningless fight that can be turned away to nothing by a change in legislation, a powerful storm, a drop in the economy, or whatever, somebody's decision somewhere? Have some faith. That's a real thing that we've got here. Have some faith, because you are being protected. We have Capera, cycles of change. That's the scarab beetle that rolls the sun over the horizon every morning. And it is also saying, because new deck, so I looked it up beforehand. I'll bring you this. So I've clarified it with Three of Cups again. Your friends here are really important. The people that you are working with are really important. But what was that bit I saw at the end? Because Capera is so closely aligned with the transits and alignments of the planets and stars, this might be a good time to consult a seasoned astrologer. I have one of those, David Fisher. Look for our full moon live streams and things like that. This might be a good time to consult a seasoned astrologer to investigate and explore your current connection to your personal astrological chart. Of course, North Node's in your sign at the moment, isn't it? So that there's a lot of like that sense of destiny at the moment. But what you are about to create. So no, you haven't started creating yet, because you haven't got the plans. So you haven't got you're just setting the groundwork. But that is powerful. We've got the Great Pyramid card here with Sobek and Ra. So Ra is representing those sun cards. There's a wonderful creative pushing forward force working with you at the moment. But Sobek is also noticing there's certain things that you need to stop. And I think that's what the poet of Avon is implying. There's certain things, as much as you could fall into an ego trap, which you're well aware of this. I don't think I'm telling you anything that you don't know, because this is what's causing the distress. There's all these people saying, oh, you're wonderful, oh, you do this, oh, you do that. And you're like, yeah, how am I here? Or a little bit of self-love, go, okay, I can be here. That's okay. I've done this before. I can do it again, without going, yeah, I'm in charge. I'm the one that knows. But the whole point is you're such a good leader right now because you don't know, and you know that you don't know. And other people are trying to make you know, and that way you will end up trapping yourself and tripping yourself up. So let's have a look at these alternate futures. So 9 of coins. So again, very, very self-reliant, but again, moving forward. Ace of arrows, Knave of swords. It's more information that you need. And I feel that because of that Page of Swords here, Knave of Swords here, sorry, Knight of Swords here. Was it Knight of Swords? Page of Swords, yeah. It's Page of Swords here, Knight of Swords here. There's more information that has to come to you yet, but you're in a good place for it. So next, Nine of Swords is often a card of misery and nightmares and anxiety, but you have the skill to use these anxieties as tools for getting that information, for one thing. If you have the anxiety crop up on you and it's like, well, what if this happens? Well, go and research it. What if it does? Because asking though, or looking to, is there a chance that this is going to happen, will give you there's my next step forward. But remember, these are all baby steps. But it's a matter of skill. With this card, there ain't no nightmares here. This is a demonstration of skill, talent, practice. As implied by this Eight of Pentacles, whatever you're in, you've been working towards this for a while, and yes, your goalposts keep moving. Good. They are supposed to keep moving. That's the good thing, because you've got the Sun here, Queen of Arrows, so Queen of Swords. There is a little something that you're needing to release here. And I'm saying that because of some of the tarot that I've discussed, and also this Unbound card from the, Work Your Light Oracle. Releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. Yes, certain people maybe feel like, because you're in this new role, because you're taking this new direction, and being very self-reliant, Nine of Coins and all these hermits, it's almost like they're feeling, oh my God, my relationship to you is disintegrating. Yeah, yes it is. It doesn't mean it can't be rebuilt into another one, but not with all the contracts, and we do it this way and we do it that way and we do it the other way. No, give a little bit more freedom to it, because Elamia here from the Oracle of Heaven and Hell, representing astrologically divine power. I do believe that you are being set up for something really, really positive. And all you are seeing right now is like the smallest of glimpses through lenses that distort what you're looking at and that are clouded anyway. Okay, so that bit of you don't know where you're going, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. That's just, that clarity will come in time, because you're getting to the point where you are very, very nearly there, and you will have that balance that you are after. But there is that's interesting. There's a burden here that you will be able to pass on, that you are able to teach. So 10 of Arrows. So remember what I was saying about helping others by empowering them, by delegating, because there is not enough time in the day for you to do everything. As self-reliant as you want to be, you have to love yourself enough to go, you know what? I'll let Joe do it, or whoever. There's they will grow through it, and you will grow through it, and also you have the freed up time to pay attention to something else that you can do. Okay, if this means anything to you, Gemini, because it looks like a busy month, but it's a busy month with a lot of hurry up and wait. It is all at once, that sense of new development, new development, new development, new development. Are we moving yet? How about now? Oh, what's happening? Are we moving? So you may not see immediately just how much you are accomplishing here, but you are getting to a specific place. Enjoy the journey. Right, so if it means anything to you, Gemini, comment down below. Let me know that these readings are making sense for somebody. Give the video a like if you would. It helps it get seen. And do feel free to subscribe to the channel while you're here, because it really helps. I'm still aiming for that magic 1,000. But more importantly, yeah, comment down below. And in the meantime, I will see you in reading soon as the monthlies slowly get online over the next few days. Cheers.